So I feel like spinal mobility or back mobility is one of those topics that just doesn't really get as much attention as maybe it should. I feel like we talk about it a lot as it relates to back pain, which is a really common experience, and so most people like connect these dots. But your spinal mobility also affects the position of your rib cage in space and the position of your pelvis in space. And we've talked a lot about how being able to stack your rib cage over your pelvis helps you to establish a better relationship between your diaphragm and your pelvic floor. And that as you change the orientation of your rib cage relative to your pelvis, that it also changes the relationship between your diaphragm and your pelvic floor, and it also changes your ability to contract your abs. So if your spine or your back is tight in certain directions and it can't go other directions very well, so if your spine or your back is tight in certain directions and it can't go in other directions very well, it's going to change the way those muscles work. You're going to have certain muscles that are short and don't lengthen very well, and you're going to have other muscles that don't shorten very well, and so they don't get the opportunity to contract or tighten very well, and so those muscles are weak. And so in considering like that your spine can go, forward and backwards, and it can bend left and it can bend right and it can turn left and it can turn right, then we cover a lot of basics, a lot of ground. And then in today's reel, I'm trying to connect the idea that you can combine some of these motions. So maybe you go into bending backwards and bending sideways, or maybe you go into bending forward and turning to the right. And as you add this together, you start to So as you add these movements together in different planes and different directions to each other, then you start to find the missing pieces of your movement. Like which part can you not get into well? Which end of the motion is not available to you? And that can help you to change the position of your rib cage relative to your pelvis, the function of your diaphragm relative to your pelvic floor, and the function of your abs. Which pieces are you missing? What are you not turning on? And so I'm going to share a previous post that I have done, just helping you consider spinal mobility from your neck, from your upper back or your thoracic spine, and from your lower back. And the same kind of ideas apply. Like we have 3 different planes of movement: forward and backwards, tilting left and right, and turning left and right. And you can consider these from all of the parts of your spine because it's all connected.
This is how we do, yeah. To the laid back street step, yeah, we do it like that. This is how we do, do. This is how we do, this is how we do,
Can somebody please tell me who the people are that wake up early?